Yes, so we have open workout 23.2 A and B, and it's a split workout, 2 different parts. First part is more of a pure conditioning based workout with shuttle runs and burpees, and the other part is a 1RM thruster, so a max lift. And that kind of fits in well with now that open only has 3 different weeks. It's maybe a good thing that we have a split workout for one of the weeks, so we actually have 4 different scores and are able to test a lot of different things. So for this workout, we'll start talking about 23.2A, so the shuttle run and the burpee pull-ups. And for this one, you're going to spend most of your time on the burpee pull-ups. That's going to go for probably everybody. So for burpee pull-ups, it's really important to try to find, at least if it's important for you to get the best score possible, it's important to find the correct height on the pull-up bar. So you can either try to adjust the pull-up bar higher or lower to make it fit you, or you can try to build up beneath the pull-up bar with some mats or weight plates and then mats on top or something like that, because those extra few centimeters that you might have to jump if the pull-up bar is a little bit too high is going to cost you a lot of energy. So try, if possible, to really maximize your setup to get as good a score as possible. And for the technique on the burpee pull-ups, we have kind of 2 different variations. When we do the burpee pull-ups, a lot of people will end up moving a little bit forward, so that when you come down, you're going to have to take a couple of steps back. If you do not think it's going to be possible for you to reach the 30 round, where the 30 burpee pull-ups, stepping back is probably okay, because you kind of need that 1 or 2 seconds of rest, so the step back is okay. If you want to get a really, really good score and you think you're one of the top athletes, you might think about trying to cycling the burpee pull-ups a little bit faster. And to do that, it helps to kind of do a heel kick or kick your heels to your butt. So when you jump up, grip on the bar, and then as you pull, you also bend your knees and kick your heel to your butt. That's going to kind of stop this forward motion, and it's going to make sure that you land a little bit further back. And it's going to make it possible for you to jump back with your feet after you land on the ground and go straight into the burpee. So that's going to be a faster cycling speed, but then you need to decide if you need to cycle the burpee pull-ups as fast or if you don't. And also for the burpee pull-ups, to begin with, we would prefer, if you have the pull-up strength, that you start out with really jumping and pulling at the same time. And then if you get fatigued or really tired, or your pulling strength is not one of your strengths, later on in the workout, you can jump up, do 1 kip swing, and then do the pull-up to kind of help with the pulling motion. But that is a lot slower, and it's also a lot of time and attention. So try to think about starting the workout at least with jumping and pulling at the same time, so you're really never hanging on straight arms. And for the shuttle run, this will probably feel a little more like your rest, because the burpee pull-ups are really taxing for your heart rate and also upper body push and pull. So your upper body is going to be able to relax a little bit on the shuttle run. You're still going to have to keep your pace up, but this is your chance to kind of control your breathing a little bit. So try to move as fast as you can while still gaining control over your breathing. So we want to push the burpee pull-ups and then gain control over your breathing and your heart rate during the shuttle runs, if possible. Also for the shuttle run, we want to try to start the rotation a few meters before you get to the line, so that when you pass the line, you're almost already 90 degrees turned. So the turn doesn't take too much time. And of course, make sure to follow the standard with both feet across and 1 hand touching the ground. And also, especially after the last burpee pull-up going into the shuttle run, make sure that when you land on the ground, both feet come behind the line before you start running. And lastly, for pacing this workout, it's really hard to get so fatigued that you can't do another burpee pull-up. And also the shuttle run is something that you can always keep moving, just at a slower pace. And because there's no real technical element and no heavy weights here, this workout allows you to really stay in the pain cave for a longer period of time. So expect this workout to be painful or discomfortable after like 4 or 5, 6 minutes, and then try to prepare yourself mentally to just stay there. For most people, you will probably slow down because you're not willing to deal with the discomfort, and not because you're not physically able to maintain the pace on the shuttle run or do another burpee pull-ups. So try to think about that difference between what I'm mentally prepared to, what kind of discomfort I'm mentally prepared to handle, and what's like true physical fatigue where I'm not able to actually do another burpee pull-up. For this workout, we really want to get close to that physical limit, like going as hard as you can until you're as fatigued that you almost can't do another burpee pull-up. So for the thrusters, again, you need to decide. Most people will probably do 3 or 4 lifts, and you can try to decide in advance, but also you need to make kind of an adjustment after the workout about how you feel after the first part. So if you want 4 lifts, you're going to have to start lifting at about 17 minutes on the timer. so you have 2 minutes of rest after the first part before you have to lift. You can maybe go 17, 15 or something like that. And then you need to lift at 17, 18, 19, and then you pick up the barbell for your final lift just before the timer hits 20, because the rule says it's okay as long as the bar leaves the ground before the timer stops. So if you want 4 lifts, that's okay. If you feel like 3 lifts is probably enough for you, you can start your first lift at around 17:30 or 17:45. And we would usually recommend people, more explosive athletes will do probably better with only 3 lifts, because they will have a harder time controlling their heart rate and breathing after the first part, while more endurance-based athletes will probably feel decent after a couple of minutes of rest and can do 4 lifts. So they can go 17, 18, 19 and then pick up the final bar just before the timer hits 20. Technically, for the thrusters, your focus should be on getting the bar into a good rack position after the clean. And to do that, if you're not really comfortable with the squat clean, you can actually power clean, just stand, catch your breath, deep breathe in, and then go down and go into the thruster. If you are comfortable with the squat clean, you can squat clean the first rep and then really focus on driving fast with your legs on your way up. Also, leaning slightly backwards as you press might help you press out that final weight a little bit better. So driving fast with your legs and also leaning slightly backwards as you press overhead. But of course, finish with full extension and your head forward. So when choosing your weights for the thrusters, you should try the different weights in the warm-up. You should probably warm up to the first lift that you think you're going to do in the workout. And the first lift should be 100% sure. You need to be probably around 5 to 10% lower than what your previous 1RM is. And then from there you can make a bigger jump. So we usually say that the first lift should be safe. The second one should be around 60-70% safe, and then the third one, if you're going to do 4, the third one is a chance and the fourth one is a PR attempt. If you're only going to do 3 attempts, the third one could be a PR attempt or at least tying your PR. And for this workout, we've seen actually that a lot of the athletes are able to get really close to their 1RM or actually PR, because the shuttle run and the burpee pull-ups is more like a heart rate workout, and they're not really actually taxing your quads as much for the squat. So the squat might feel okay. Back might be a little bit tired, but a lot of people get really close to their personal best on the thruster. Best of luck, guys.